because these young men need to know.
They do.
Like we definitely talked about not too long ago, fellas need to strap up, because it's especially our brothers, you know what I'm saying? There's a heavy presence of baby daddy and baby mama situations out there in our communities, and I think that's mostly due to the fact that a lot of us are not thinking with this head up top. We start to think with the head down below.
I agree.
Impact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your boy, Jamichael Moore. And we are the Residual Impact Podcast.
Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
Then apply it to their communities.
Let's grow.
Today we are inverted, ladies and gentlemen.
And if you don't know what that means, I'm going to need y'all to make sure you're watching the YouTube video. Now, for those of y'all who are watching us on YouTube, you know exactly what we're talking about right now because you could obviously see it.
Yeah.
Needless to say, man, this is weird.
Yeah, we just feels different, Like
obviously.
Everything is like the opposite way. But it's okay though. It's keeping us on our toes right now.
I don't know, man. I don't like it.
It's keeping us on our toes,
Listen,
man.
I know. We pretty much talk about things as far as like stepping out of your comfort zone and making sure that stay ready so you ain't got to get ready the whole nine. But I definitely wasn't ready for this.
Hey man, and it's crazy. This was your idea. That's the thing about it.
Was it really?
Yeah, you suggested this, and I was like, okay, I never thought about that. When? It was either last week or the week before that. You suggested this. I get this from you.
I don't remember saying let's swap seats.
You was like, yeah, why don't we try something different? And I was thinking you sitting right there, I sitting right there. I was like, okay. You literally said this.
I guess I don't remember that. I remember saying, okay, you take over a couple episodes. You lead the intro. I remember that.
Nah, man. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do this. He said this. Let's try it. Now we here, ladies and gentlemen. We hit. We inverted.
Dang, that's crazy.
It just takes a little bit getting used to, though.
Yeah, it does, because my controls are all backwards.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I had to like switch my mic, and but it's keeping us versatile. We
of course.
We ambidextrous around this mug now.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We are. So, man, how was your week?
This week was pretty good. I'm trying to think of what really interesting happened this week. It did go by fast. Other than that, for the most part, man, it was just I'm preparing to go on vacation soon. So, right now I just feel like I'm working. But other than that, man, just still making business moves, still trying to invest into my future.
Right.
And impact the people that surround me. That's been a big thing this week for me as well. But I think this week really taught me about it's just patience. Mm-hmm. You know how sometimes you want things to happen like when you want them to happen.
Boy.
And it's like when they're not happening as fast as you want them to, or you want things to just kind of just come. You just have to realize, man, okay, just have patience. Like, nothing ain't going to happen overnight. Plants, they don't just grow once you put them in the ground, the seed in the ground. No, it takes time. So that's what I had to been reminding myself this week is just, hey, even though you don't see a lot going on around you, stuff is still going on and stuff is still happening.
Of course.
So this week was just about patience to me.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy that you mentioned that. Like, because, we do want things to happen when we want it to happen. Mm-hmm. Right, because that's actually something that we're going to touch on majorly this week with today's episode.
Okay, that's cool. I can't wait for that one. But, before we get into that, how was your week, though?
My week actually, contrary to what you said about how you felt it went fast, man, I felt this week went really slow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like molasses?
Like molasses. I got some things, going on, like some personal things, nothing like too major, but, things that I kind of just been like bugging my mind. Mm-hmm. And it's usually I don't know if it's a result of the holiday season, pressures of like trying to buy gifts for people and still trying to, keep money for myself and what I need the money for and stuff like that.
That's understandable.
And bills and all, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really like the holiday season. I don't really, I don't care for it. But I think that's probably one of the main things that's been kind of like bugging me this week. And then the last 3 days, man, I haven't really been sleeping well at all. Like, I remember, I think it was like Thursday night. No. Wednesday night, I only got like 3.5 hours of sleep. Then I woke up on Thursday, did a long day at work, had a long day. Friday, I woke up late, almost got to work late. I don't remember what time I went to sleep Thursday night, but I didn't get home till late. And then I pretty much slept through all my alarms on Friday morning, but I ended up making it. And then I went out last night. I was like dead tired. So I slept in really late this morning.
That's how it be sometimes.
Yeah, like I was drained. So I needed all the sleep I could get. And I definitely overslept this morning, but I didn't have to go anywhere in the morning. So,
hey, man, make sure you take care of yourself, man. You already know that's really important. Lack of sleep can really, really play a role in your life if you don't get enough. Get enough.
So I'm hoping to go to sleep at a decent time tonight so that I can, get back into the swing of things and get back to this money. You feel me?
Nah, for real though. Like no cap though.
No cap. But
yeah, man. What you got?
I mean, there's a lot that's actually, been kind of going on this week that just made me say, man, things are really moving along in the world as they should. Of course, I do want to point out the elephant in the room or the elephant in the world, starting with this new supposed sickness variant.
Oh, Lord.
And because of me saying that, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Per YouTube guidelines, I don't want to say the wrong things. But Black Twitter never ceases to amaze me, man.
What they say now?
What happened when this new variant surfaced? So it's called, let me make sure I get this right, because even our president was butchering the names quite a few times.
Okay.
Omicron variant or Omicron variant. But Black Twitter struck again.
Oh my God!
They changed the name to the Omarion variant.
Man, oh my God.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. You stupid.
Bro, come on.
They changed it to the Omarion variant. So things were getting kind of wild on Twitter where people were just constantly talking about it back and forth. And,
Oh, gosh.
I don't know, like needless to say, some of them had me cracking up. Like there was one of a scientist looking under a microscope to look at a variant.
It was Omarion.
It was Omarion. It was Omarion doing the Omarion challenge dance where he was in that red jacket.
Man, I'm done, bro. That's actually pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
But it's like, how Black Twitter gets, man. Like everybody's so creative.
Yes.
When it comes to stuff like that. So
yes, most definitely. That's funny though.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like that for a good beginning of the week. So, I definitely had a good chuckle with that. But from what I hear, man, this thing is no joke.
Yeah.
And I actually heard that there was a report of somebody who lived in Georgia who tested positive for it, but that person is currently in New Jersey right now. And they had just came back from South Africa not too long ago, and they spent 2 days in Georgia before going to New Jersey. So that's just what I've heard. That's what I've read online. I can't remember where I read it, but just be safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful. Watch you around, stuff like that. Stay masked up.
Keep your body in good condition.
Most definitely.
Take your vitamin C, man, and take stuff like ginger, sea moss, things that, typically, because what I'm noticing, it's a buildup of mucus.
Yeah.
And when your body has this huge buildup of mucus, which can come from a different assortment of things, which is sugar, drinking milk, all these different things, then your body's having a hard time fighting against it, and then that's when you get sick.
Correct.
But if you take a different thing, supplements like that, it's supposed to break down the mucus in your body and then help it fight it, because Because I know a lot of times, man, they don't talk about this stuff on the news.
They don't.
They just talk about, like, oh, man, we need to get you a shot.
Getting the jab and all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Like, come on, bro. Like, it's more to it.
If you stay healthy, man, like, stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
Exactly.
Get your workouts in, man. Like, make sure that you keep your blood pumping. You know, we're no doctors or anything like that, of course. But, you know, I don't remember the last time I got a flu shot.
I never used to get it.
I only had to get them because of school. Like, it's like, oh, well, if you start in this semester or if you start in this school year, you have to get, you have to have all your immunizations and all that stuff. That was the last time I probably got it. I think that was high school.
I never used to get it. Because to me, I didn't, and this was always like the back and forth between like me and my mom, because my mom, she's in the healthcare industry. So like man, anything that they got coming out, yo, you need to get this. I'm like, I just don't understand, why would I inject myself with this sickness just so my body can fight the sickness? Like, let my body just naturally be able to fight it. I get it. Don't get me wrong now. I know for some of y'all that might be like, oh, trust me, I understand. I just personally am like, why? I don't need it. I'd rather just take care of myself naturally with other stuff. Because I work for a juice bar. I am around so many different organic products that you take on a regular basis to help your body, help your immune system stay strong.
Right. So
that you ain't got to fight against sickness. Well, you do fight against sickness. But you don't have to, like, wait till you sick. Like, no, like, you can prepare yourself before it even happens.
Correct.
So that's just always been my stance on it.
Yeah, and mine too, man. Like, you definitely just have to make sure that you, again, try to stay as healthy as possible. Yeah. And for all my black people out there, remember what we said last week was the cure for everything. Stay ginger aled up.
I'm telling you. Hey, my wife just bought something.
Oh, man. Yo, let me get one real quick.
Bro, I got you, man. Like, I'm telling you, ginger ale, ain't nothing ginger ale can't cure, brother.
Facts. We drink ginger ale for everything. Yo, matter of fact, when I was out yesterday, I ordered ginger ale at dinner, and I was asked, "Are you feeling sick right now? Is that why you got ginger ale?"
What you doing bringing that ginger ale out right now? That's
like,
funny.
No, I just like to drink ginger ale, but
that is funny. That's funny because that's true though.
Yeah, it is true.
It's nothing like it. Just makes your soul feel good. I don't know what it is about it. Comforting.
I don't know either, but it's a part of our life. It's a part of our community's life. We love to have ginger ale in our system or around us at all times.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just overall, man, if you're not going to get the jab, man, just make sure that you're taking care of yourself. I think that's what it boils down to, and also make sure that your mind is healthy as well, because I think that does play a part in you physically being sick or getting sick, is when your mind is not right. And like you say, getting enough sleep. Man, your body, you can literally feel sick if you do not get enough sleep.
And that's a fact, man. I thank God have not been sick in a while. But normally when I don't get enough sleep, when I'm not drinking enough water,
man,
that's when my body is the most vulnerable to any type of sickness. So definitely gonna make sure I get a lot of sleep tonight and tomorrow, whatever. Like, I need to stay well rested and continue drinking the water. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me get a swig right now.
I'm gonna follow you in direction, man, for real, bro. Because it's real. Like, that's no joke. Like, your body needs. Please drink water, y'all. Especially just everybody needs to drink water, but especially my men, bro. Like, please drink water, bro, because so many times I've heard of us getting whether it be hemorrhoids or kidney stones, and it all comes from lack of water.
Right.
And it's just like, that sounds so simple. Bro, just drink water. That's it. Literally, all you gotta do is drink water. So,
yeah, make sure we do that. Stay hydrated and get plenty of rest, get plenty of exercise. Especially our black people. Like, we gotta make sure we continually exercise. That's one thing that a lot of us don't do.
Yeah.
Men more so than women, from what I've seen. Anytime I go in the gym, I always see a lot more brothers in the gym than sisters. But as a people, as a collective, we need to maintain our health so that this stuff doesn't negatively impact us the way, especially the media likes to say that the black community is affected the worst.
Yeah. Because
of how we eat and how we don't take care of ourselves.
Oh, man. It's crazy. I didn't mean to turn this into a whole health episode, but I just thought about something.
What up?
I was talking to one of my boys this week. He's young. He's like 23 or 24 years old. And he was telling me, he was like, man, when the last time you had a physical? I'm like, it's probably been a couple years or so. He was like, look, man, I just need you to go get a physical. he was like, he went to the doctor with his girl. His girl was going there, and he was like, the doc was like, you know, you gonna get you a physical too? He's like, nah, man, I'm good, man. I'm an athlete. I've been an athlete my whole life. He's like, you sure, man? So he was like, just to give his girl some comfort, he let the doctor go check him out, and he was like, yeah, man. He was like, you actually are in good condition. Everything's good. But he was like, but one thing, he was like, I was looking at your sugar levels, man. He was like, apparently there's level is like on a scale between, I don't know where it starts, but you don't want to get past like the number 72 or 73. This man was at 70. He was at 72. He was one right before the level of you almost got diabetes, and he didn't even know. And he was like, yo, what? So he came to find out that he was like, he's been just intaking way too much sugar into his diet. And like he had to like cut out a bunch of things, and he was like, he didn't even know. Like I say, he's an athlete, so he's used to always getting physicals previous to this. But he was just like, yo, just make sure that you go to the doctor every so often just to get a checkup, because especially, you know, us as men, we be like, I'm good, man. I'm straight. I feel good, so I'm good. And I'm guilty of this myself. My wife always be like, yo, go get you a checkup. And I was like, okay. So now I'm just passing on to you, passing on to all of y'all that are watching. If you have not gotten a checkup recently, go take the time out to do it, even if you feel okay. Because we take our car to go get an oil change, you know, every so often, but we don't go get our own bodies checked out every so often. So I just wanted to share that.
Hey, that makes sense, man, and that's something we definitely have to do. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't gotten one in a couple years as well, but I said to myself, I'm definitely gonna make sure I get that taken care of next year.
Please do, man.
Yup, and I definitely didn't mean to start off the health conversation, but it just happened.
It just happened.
It really just happened. You know, normally we have all of our notes written down in front of us, and was that even there?
Bro, this is not even nowhere near the notes.
But it just popped up in my head. Like, I was just like, you know what? Make sure I talk about this just to kind of bring some sort of awareness. Yeah. And you know what?
But that's how you know it was meant. We just kind of naturally happened to talk about that, because I wasn't even thinking about the other thing, and. So that was the
Omarion variant.
Well, no, definitely not that. Omarion variant. Him dancing with the. No, definitely not that. But just as far as the physical thing, like I think that's something that did make me be more aware to go check myself out. So I think that's gonna help somebody.
Well, speaking of helping somebody, you know what? We've talked about this, brother. This is the third week in a row, right? You know, and it's crazy how it took for this man's passing for us to bring him up 3 weeks in a row.
Wow.
But again, man, R.I.P. to Young Dolph.
Yeah, man.
You know, I know we talked last week about how he was definitely a help to his children regarding, you know, investing in real estate assets for his kids and stuff like that, and kind of like, you know, teaching them about acquiring assets and so on and so forth. But I just read in the news that Young Dolph will be honored with a street renamed after him in South Memphis. The ceremony will take place on December 15th, and it'll be open to the public to see the new street name unveiled at Dunn Avenue and Airways Boulevard. So that's something that's definitely, you know, good for the city of Memphis.
It is.
His killers are still on the loose. You know, police are looking to apprehend at least 2 suspects involved in his murder, but they're still on the loose. And currently, as far as what I heard in the news, there's like a $2,000 reward out for information leading to an arrest of his murderers.
And I actually heard, you know, that's probably on the police side, but I heard on the street side they offering up $1 million.
$1 million.
Well, they got $1 million out. They say, whoever got some answers, come holler at us. So, but that's on the street side.
That's on the street side.
Yeah, man.
How long of a drive is Memphis from here? I'm just curious. Like, I just want to know. Man. I just want to know.
I want to say it's only like maybe 3-4 hours plus, if anything.
Because I know Chattanooga is 2 hours from here.
Yeah, so it got to be maybe 3 some change.
Nah, it's got to be a little bit more than that.
You think it's 4?
I think it's more. Let me see real quick. A few moments later. Roughly between 5 to 6 hours.
Dang, 5 to 6?
Yeah.
Wow. Tennessee
so it's roughly between 5 to 6 hours, depending on the starting point in Atlanta. So.
Interesting. Okay. Well, you plan on making a trip?
I might. For that millie? Let me see what I can dig up for a millie.
Man. Truly, I hope, though, that, they find the people that did it.
I hope so, too.
Bring them to justice, because, man, that was whack. I'm not lying.
It definitely was,
That was whack, bro.
Like we said before, like, we deserve to grow old. Black men deserve to grow old.
Yeah.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing about how we're just out here killing each other like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And like you said before, if you don't care about your own life, you definitely not gonna care about the next man's life.
Nope.
All you worrying about is maybe like a price that might have been on his head. And that's what I heard. Like, I'm thinking that there might have been a price on Dolph's head. Mm-hmm. Somebody was just like, yo, I'll go ahead and carry the hit. Some young, dumb person. I can't say what I really want to say right now because we're on the air, but somebody young and stupid.
Yeah.
So, they don't care about their own life, so they're willing to take out a hit on somebody else's.
It's like once you achieve that whatever money that you gonna get, bro, you not even gonna have peace in your life.
Not even. You gonna stay looking over your shoulder. You gonna stay looking over your shoulder, man.
What? I wouldn't want to touch that money, bro. That's not even. That's blood money.
It's blood money, right?
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But I look forward to seeing the change that comes from this, man. I really hope that we as a people do change from this. So many people always want to say, RIP to this person, RIP to that person, and we want to give them their flowers when they're gone. I want to make sure that we continue to give people their flowers while they're still here. And not only that, but we stop the senseless acts of violence. Like, I really, really hope that we as a community will do that. And I hope, my hope for this podcast is that we continue to bring awareness to stuff like that. And we continue to bring awareness to our people regarding how we can come together as one and advance.
Yeah.
We need to advance. We can't just keep living the same way that we've been living and expecting things to change, because things, I feel like, have only gotten worse.
Man, I mean, I don't want to admit that, but in some cases it has.
Listen, we used to have a Black Wall Street, man. We used to have our own cities before they got torched, burned to the ground. Here, where we live in Georgia, Lake Lanier was built on top of a successful black town.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, man.
I didn't know that.
The town was called Oscarville, Georgia. So Oscarville, Georgia, it lies beneath Lake Lanier. And of course, like I'm sure you've heard the stories of Lake Lanier, right?
Yeah.
About how it flooded a town. There's actually still buildings and stuff underneath it. As a matter of fact, you didn't know that? Wow. No. So almost a decade ago, when Georgia had a drought, right? Atlanta had a drought. Lake Lanier started to like really drain. We didn't really have much rain or anything like that. The lake was just being depleted, and you can physically see like the bleachers from a former racetrack that's under the lake. They were the stands on the racetrack that were under the lake. People were visibly able to see it and walk on them. And man, there's like churches down there. There's a cemetery down there. So many people, say that the lake is cursed. I believe it myself.
Bro. I was just about to say that. Like, I'm wondering if that's why all that freaky stuff be happening there.
That's what I feel like.
That's one of the reasons why I don't go.
I haven't been to Lake Lanier in years. Wow. I think the last time I went, I never touched the water. Like, I was just there in the sand, just chilling in the sun. But I never touched the water. And I remember when I was in college, I used to swim in that water. I'll never forget, there was one day we were celebrating somebody's birthday. It was me and my friend Dre and some people that he knew. Some people that kind of like he introduced me to. And we were diving off of one of the piers in the lake. Like, we were just running, diving off and jumping into shallow water. And, just to think about what I know now versus what I knew then, because back then I didn't know it was haunted. Right. Because if I knew that, I would never have swam in the lake.
Right, exactly.
But just thinking about it now, I'm like, okay, so many people talk about water spirits in that lake. Fortunately, thank God, none of us that day, when we went swimming in that lake, were not affected by it.
Yeah.
Not one of us drowned. Not one of us said that we saw anything underwater. And I can swim. Like, I have been swimming probably since I was 2 or 3. And I mostly swim underwater. And that's all I was doing at that lake. Whenever I jumped off the pier, I was swimming underneath water until, it's time to come up. And fortunately, I never saw anything spooky down there. I guess I wasn't that deep in the lake or anything, but just thinking about it, I'm never swimming in that water again.
That's crazy. That's one of the reasons I don't go. It's just too many stories of people passing out there. Like, way too many.
It's the curse of Oscarville, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I definitely challenge you and any one of y'all who are listening and watching us on YouTube, if you don't know about Lake Lanier's history, especially if you live in Georgia, if you live in the metro Atlanta area, if you live anywhere near Lake Lanier,
check it out.
Go ahead and look it up. Oscarville, Georgia. Look at the history. There's some stories about Oscarville. And there's some racist stories about how Lake Lanier came to be. And to this day, like, there have been people who've, like, scuba dived in the lake. And yeah, they can see physical structures down there, like buildings and stuff.
That's scary, bro.
Very.
It's like you just told a haunted story right there. No cap.
Yo, just mentioning the words Lake Lanier, that's a haunted story in itself.
Wow. Yeah, I might go look that up, bro. That's freaky.
Lake Lanier is typically trending on Twitter often. And no matter how many times it's trending, people still don't know, like, not to swim there.
Yeah, bro. They just want to go fun. They want to go have fun out there. That's it.
Yeah.
Go get them a boat. Go out there and have them some beers. And go have fun. That's it.
What's the cost, though? The lake is haunted.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to touch that. I'm not going to touch that. What we got in other news, B? I'm not going to touch that. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, that's another thing that was not in our
That
notes.
was not it.
It just popped up.
Oh, man.
What else are we going to talk about
Bruh,
today?
who knows? Who knows at this point? Oh, man.
But also in some interesting news, Drake and Kanye, around the time Young Dolph passed, they squashed their beef, right?
Thank God.
Right. So they are hosting a concert. They're about to hold a concert on December 9th to promote peace. There was a flyer going around. Kanye featuring special guest Drake. Hashtag free Larry Hoover. I honestly haven't looked too much into what's going on with the concert, but apparently it's only in LA on that day. It's not like they're going on a tour or anything, but it's going to be in LA, and I think they're going to be live streaming it as well. But I'm guessing you have to pay to see that.
But I heard about this concert that these tickets is going crazy though. Like the prices are ridiculous.
I didn't even look at the prices.
Oh,
what did you see?
Oh my gosh, brother. Just know you ain't spending lower than like maybe $500.
Oh my God!
You talking 500 and up.
So even if I want to sit in the nosebleeds,
oh brother, you still spending that bread. Oh yeah, I've seen some upwards of like $1,200.
Oh hell no!
Yes. No, we talking about Drake and Kanye in the same building, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? It's funny because I did see somebody saying that concert should be free.
Oh, that was a great joke. That was a good one.
I forgot I did see that because the people were talking about prices, but I just didn't look at the prices. Oh, somebody said that it should be free.
Man, these people are charging. So
dang.
I get it, but at the same time, come on now. We talking about Kanye and a billionaire, and then we talking about Drake, who's probably eventually going to be a billionaire. Like, these brothers out here gonna get that back.
Must be nice.
I'm telling you, man.
Cue like Jennings.
Real, man. So yeah, this most definitely gonna be big, and I'm glad that those brothers, reconcile whatever issues that they had together.
Most definitely
came together, man.
Because my favorite song on CLB is still 7 a.m. on Bridal Path. So
man, that was a bop.
That had a whole bunch of jabs at Kanye, but I'm glad they squashed the beef.
Yo, give that address to your driver next time.
Right, because beef these days, we've talked about what it can turn into.
Yeah.
Even beef like 20 years ago turned deadly.
Yeah.
The whole East Coast West Coast battle.
Right.
Pac passed and then Biggie passed shortly after. Like, I don't know, man.
But we gonna shift all that, man, because Black brothers, black young men, black old men, we deserve to grow old and live a long life, prosperous life.
We do. So what are we shifting to exactly? Because the only other thing I see on this docket before we get to the main course is your friend, she who shall not be named.
Well, speaking of black men, if you want, ain't no way to better segue into it than that, my brother.
Yo,
speaking of black men,
you are absolutely right. R. Shelley is at it again. No, I'm just kidding. I'll put some respect on her name. I won't call her R. Shelley anymore.
Hey, it is what it is at this point, man.
What was she trending for this time?
Well, one of the things that she was trending for this week was she visited a college campus, which Deion Sanders brought her out to. My guess it was the campus that he actually coaches at. And he decided to, bring her out to teach these young athletes, future NFL players about, the dangers of DMs and getting caught up with these women. And hey, he said, what better way than to bring out one of the GOATs, apparently. And that's exactly what he did, man. He brought her out and he had her kind of teach the class and give some game.
I mean, honey, I feel like my DMs, it's like a Nike store. There's nothing but checks. So it just, for me, I feel like
Hold on. They missed that game.
Nothing but blue checks.
They missed that game right there. She says like a Nike store.
It's like a Nike store. There's nothing but blue checks. So honestly, when you reach a certain status, you can have the pick of the litter. So for me,
she don't mean checks, paper. She mean blue checks.
I'm talking heavy
Verified.
hitters. Some of y'all's favorite rappers, NBA players, football players. It's like, to me, once you reach that level just of popularity, the world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want. And for me, my whole journey on here, I felt like my life almost felt like I was in Disney World, like I lived in Disney World. Like, you get to skip the line, you get privilege. Like, people just want to be next to you. They don't even see you as human anymore. And you can either, use it to your advantage and maybe abuse it, or you can, try to make something happen. So a lot of guys who are in my DM, you're in my DM because I'm Brittany Renner. So naturally, if you play a sport, it's kind of like, well, that's an incentive to talk to you. A lot of times, women, men in general, everybody wants something.
Thank you.
Everybody wants something. So it's like, even if we both have our own thing going on, me still being with you is a good look because you boost my stock. Just like you boost my, you know what I'm saying? Like, I boost your stock. It's just that simple. It's kind of like a give and take, but you have to be aware of what you're signing up for.
Which some people didn't like, but for me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that was very creative.
Yeah.
Sometimes, hey, that's what you got to get to, get these young men to pay attention is, hey, get it right from there. Hopefully a lot of them was paying attention. Some of them probably was.
I hope so too, because honestly, when I was in college, that's when Brittany Renner first came on the scene. When everybody just knew her as Bundle of Brittany. If she ever came to my college campus back then, I don't know if I would have been listening. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because I just would have been focused on just looking at her. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. But again, that was when she first came out. That was way before anything happened with PJ Washington. That was before she became best friends with Tiana Trump.
Oh.
Yeah, they best friends.
Okay.
And if y'all don't know who Tiana Trump is, Google her, but just make sure that you're not around anybody that you don't want to see what pops up on your phone or computer screen. Because all the fellas, we know who Tiana Trump is, and we know what she's about. We know what she's known for. Bruh. So, yeah.
So, yes, Deion Sanders said, it's my responsibility as a coach to prepare my young men for any and everything on the field and off. So I brought in Bundle Brittany to educate them on how the game is played between men and women at their age and stage. This message may not be for everybody, but trust me, it's for somebody. And rightfully so.
Yeah, I can definitely respect that. I have no problems with that at all, because these young men need to know.
They do.
Like we definitely talked about not too long ago, fellas need to strap up, because it's especially our brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Please, man.
There's a heavy heavy presence of baby daddy and baby mama situations out there in our communities. And I think that's mostly due to the fact that a lot of us are not thinking with this head up top. We start to think with the head down below. I agree. And we don't worry about strapping up. We don't worry about taking any kind of precautions when we're getting with these women out here, these young women out here, especially, the athletes and, the young up and coming entertainers who might be venturing into the spotlight. Yeah. And they're starting to get recognition from a lot of like Instagram models and stuff like that, or those type of young women that only like look for athletes and entertainers. These brothers tend to not think when it comes to dealing with those women, because it's just like, oh, she's bad. It's the heat of the moment. She's bad. Nothing's gonna happen. Let's just enjoy the moment. Let's get it on. Yep.
That's you said it right there. She's bad. that's it. That's like the entry to the door right there. She's bad. Not really thinking about everything that comes after that. Right. So I thought that that was a very unique way to teach these young men something that they can hopefully take forward and use in their life, because I think if I had a son, you just got to keep it real with him. Yeah. Don't sugarcoat it. Just keep it real. Keep it real. Because otherwise the world gonna try to teach you in another way, and you don't want to. Hopefully you can get them to try to avoid some of the mistakes that can come about. Yeah. So. But what else was your girl trending for this week?
Apparently, Brittany's trying to move on, which I really hope that she is really trying to move on. But she was trending for another reason this week. Like, she put out a video on her Instagram about how she is moving on with her life. She said that after the situation with PJ, she got kicked out, or in her words, she said she voluntarily removed herself from the situation. And she ended up moving back in with her mother. She took her son and moved him in with her mom and her sister. She said she gave up her car, so she didn't have her own car at the moment. And when she made that video, she said she was finally moving into her new place, but she still didn't have a car, which I understand. You do have to sacrifice certain things for whatever lifestyle that you're trying to get. So I understood that part. But the one takeaway I guess I kind of learned from that situation is don't really sacrifice yourself for a certain situation that you have with another person, especially if it's not your spouse. I understand. Now, I'm not married, so I can't really speak on this too much, but correct me if I'm wrong. Once you become one with another person, after once you're married, everything ain't about you anymore.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. You might have to give up some of your old life, of course, to accommodate your spouse, or kind of like blend your life with your spouse's life so that you guys can become one. For example, I know this wasn't you growing up, and it definitely wasn't me, so I hope y'all don't think that. But if you're the type of brother that's constantly in the strip clubs every weekend, again, like I said, I know that's not you, but if you were the type of brother that's constantly in the strip clubs like every weekend, throwing ones or whatever, by the time you got married, I know your wife wouldn't have that. I know for a fact that she's not having that.
This is true. This is true.
So, you got to sacrifice some of your old life, I'm saying, if you want to become one with somebody else. Yeah. But in this situation, these two, from what I've heard, they might have been married. They might have had like a little secret marriage. But for the most part, the way they tell it, they weren't married. So did she really have to sacrifice her car? She said that she gave up living in, I think she had a condo in LA, and then moved across the country to North Carolina because he plays ball in Carolina and that's where he lives. She said she gave all of that up in LA to move cross country and be with him and kind of like get on his program and stuff like that as his woman. But after their whole situation went left, she decided to, move back in with her mom for a little while she was working on getting her own place. So, as a married man, like what do you think about this situation? What do you think about what was going on between the two of them, or what she had to say regarding, her situation, giving up her car, moving across the country just to try to make things work with PJ?
Well, I don't know the whole context of their relationship, so I mean, a part of me can understand, I guess, if when they were together, I don't know the talks that they were having, possibly getting married, having a future together. Could that have been the whole reason for all of sacrifice? And I mean, with him being an NBA player, she probably thought, okay, I got me one. I don't know. I've seen it work. I know somebody personally who is in that situation. And it worked. They got a whole family together now. But do I think that was wrong of her? No. But I mean, I don't know. Because I don't know their whole relationship. I don't really know the whole context of how their relationship really was going to do some of the things that she did. Clearly, I know in the interview I saw of her, it was real. There was some love there. She was like, she was telling, I think she described the name of the child. She was like, look, that name wasn't just something you put together. No, she was like, that took thought and time. So apparently it was something real there. So maybe she was actually in love. Maybe he was actually in love at one point in their life that was like, hey, this is what I want. But now, was that a big leap and a big jump? Oh yeah, most definitely. But yeah, like you say, you do got to sacrifice some things apparently when you're trying to become one with somebody. But giving up your car, that's a big leap.
Especially in the South, right? Like, I understand maybe in LA you might not need a car to get around from place to place because there's a lot of public transportation, but in North Carolina,
you don't need a whip.
Yeah.
Everything I'm pretty sure is somewhat similar to Georgia. Like,
it has to be, because I know South Carolina for damn sure you gotta have a car to get around.
You got to. So, like I said, I don't know. That one's a very interesting one. I'm not sure why she would do that and what's her mindset. But clearly, I don't know why she does some of the stuff she does anyways.
You're absolutely right about that. So, to that point, half the internet was supporting her, the other half was clowning her in the situation. So the internet's just going to go ahead and internet. But for those of y'all who are listening and watching, just make sure that you listen. I know that things can go wrong in a relationship, but I also know that things can go right in a relationship. Whatever it is that you do with whoever it is that you're trying to do it with, as far as maybe moving in together, which I don't recommend moving in with somebody before marriage. I don't recommend having a child with somebody before marriage, but that's just me. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Be mindful. Make sure that you know that person as well as you possibly can. And I understand that things could go wrong. I understand that some people may not seem to be the way that they present to be at first. Things can change up, because I've been involved in a situation like that where I was with a woman for 3 whole years, and at the very end of the relationship, she turned out to be somebody completely different than who I fell in love with initially. So I get it. I understand that. Just be careful and try not to give up too much of yourself, please, because you just never know what's going to happen. I know I've mentioned this in a previous episode, but like, there was a saying that I saw online that said, don't make somebody your everything, because if you lose them, then you'll end up with nothing. Now, I can understand if you're married, if you get to the point where you're married and you have to become one, like, because at that point you're merging your lives together. But if you're not married, why are you really making that person your all?
That's true. That's true. And I think even when it comes to marriage, though, too, you still have to be careful with that, because this is something I had to learn too the hard way, because I did it previously before I was married, and then as I got married, I realized, okay, yes, I am one with this person, but even before my wife comes God. I don't know if y'all spiritual and y'all have a relationship like that, but for me personally, I realized I have to put all my trust in God, because before my wife was here, it was God, and the same thing with my wife. Before I was there, it was God in her life. So I've learned to put Him first, and then I put my trust in my wife, and then so on and so forth. Because, like you say, man, if you put your all, we're human, bruh. We're gonna fall short in some way. Yeah. Now, of course, when you become one with somebody and you actually have made that commitment, yes, you have made a bond with somebody that you hope is never broken, and you should really know that person. So take your time when it comes to before you really make that commitment, because clearly that's a big step.
It's a huge step,
man. So, but yeah, just make sure that, I think you should have God first in your life, because that's, in the end, you should put your complete trust in, and then I think he'll lead you to make the right decisions and choices later on.
Most definitely. So,
on to that main.
Right now, we got the main course coming up, brother. We have this topic that sparked into my mind last week when you were discussing a few things as far as perseverance through perspective. And a light bulb just went off during the conversation. It just went off in my mind. And I wanted to touch on focusing on the journey instead of the destination.
That's good. That's good.
So one thing that I read online that really stuck with me, and this is something that I had to learn the hard way, was a quote by Greg Anderson that says, "Focus on the journey, not the destination. Joy is found not in finishing an activity, but in doing it." So what I took from that was, don't focus on the end result, focus on your journey. And an example for that is, let's say you're currently overweight and you want to lose a significant amount of weight to get in better shape. You're constantly going to be focusing on your end result, but what is it that's going to make that end result so worth it? I'll take myself for example. I've been struggling with my weight pretty much my whole life. There are times when I've been big for the most part, like I am now. There are times where I've been slim and I couldn't believe it. But it happens, I'm working on getting slim again. So, yeah, it's going to happen. It's coming. But, I do want to lose a significant amount of weight, and I know that I have to change my lifestyle up heavy in order to do that. But instead of me focusing on the end result, the end goal of how much weight I want to lose and what I want to look like when I lose that weight, I have to focus on the minor steps that it's going to take to get to that point. Because in order for me to get from point A to point B, which is, of course, the starting point to the end result, there's something in between that. It's not just, I woke up today, I'm 280 pounds, and then fast forward, I'm instantly at 180 pounds. Like, no, what got me from 280 pounds to 180 pounds? What got me to that 100-pound weight loss? I mean, you have hard work, you have dedication, you have early mornings, you have changing nutrition habits, you have maybe a caloric deficit, you have, first and foremost, I want to shout out my girl Ebony and shout out to her for her podcast, Morning Motivations for the Fit Mind. I listen to her on a regular basis, and her affirmations each morning really help me out. So
shout out to Ebony.
But definitely, there's a lot that goes on with that. And when I listen to Ebony's podcast, there's something that I have to realize, because she's a personal trainer and she definitely gets it in when it comes to fitness. Like, I've known her for years, met her through some friends of mine that I went to college with years ago. And, it was interesting seeing her journey from what she used to look like when I first met her to even now, what she looks like today. And it's great, man. It's fantastic. Like, just to see how serious she takes fitness and health and how she helps others do the same. So again, shout out to her. And, one day we'll definitely have her on the show, because, I would like to, get her perspective on a lot of this that we're talking about, because I'm sure she can chime in a lot on focusing on the journey.
Most definitely.
Back to the example, like I said, there's a lot of things in between the start of a weight loss journey to the end of a weight loss journey. And even vice versa. If you're taking somebody who might be slim, but they want to bulk up, let's say they start off at 180 pounds, but they want to get to a point to where they might end up at 210, 215 pounds solid muscle. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. So what takes you to that end result? What really gets you there, and what really makes you happy? Is getting to the end result what makes you truly happy, or are the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into that specific journey to get to the end result what makes a person happy?
That's it.
What do you think, Mike?
No, I 100% agree with you. I think that's what makes everything worthwhile. That's what makes it, that end goal, that much more sweeter. And as you were saying that, this is a little bit more of an extreme example, but it made me think about this. So The day you were born, right? You came into this world. One thing is guaranteed: one day you're gonna die.
Right.
And we don't like to typically think about that end goal, but that's the end. But we more so focus on the middle. Like, that's the most important part. Like, what are you doing in the middle of your life? Like, as your life is growing, as the whole journey throughout your life, what are you doing to make it worthwhile? Like, that is what is really important. Of course, we all know, like, we're gonna leave this earth one day, but what impact are you gonna have on it? And I think you should learn to find joy in that, because I think it's important though. But you can, like you said, you can apply that to everything in your life. Try to focus on the journey, not that end destination. Because once you get it, you got it. I mean, but what did you do to get it?
You're right, Mike. That was a little extreme.
It was. But
it was a good one, because I thought about that. I just didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
So I used weight loss instead.
But you know something though is crazy. I listened to this guy this week, man, and he said something very interesting and thought provoking. He was like, "What if we have a misconception about death?" He was like, "We think that we all know we're gonna die," but he was like, "What is like? Why do you think death is so bad?" Like, he was like, "It's something about it on the other end that you just might not know. That we only seeing a part of this. We're only seeing this side of it. And we just thinking, oh man, just because that person's not here physically anymore, that's it. But no, man, it's something greater could be on the other side of that you might not even can conceive in your mind just yet." But I don't know. He just made me think, man. But I know why we're here, and that's kind of deep. But I know why we're here as humans right now, and in this space. This was most important. But I don't know. He just made me think about that, man.
And you know what? I definitely can, say that I understand that really well. Because with anything, it's like whenever you start something and you complete it, same thing with life. You start your life, you go throughout life, and then you complete your life one day. Like most of us, we want to grow old before we leave this earth. We want to make sure that we've experienced as much as we possibly can while we're here. We want to be able to accomplish as much as we possibly can while we're here. And with that being said, I know that, Lord willing, I leave this earth as a great grandfather, you know what I'm saying, touching 100+ years old if I can. And then I can literally smile and look back on my life and everything that I've accomplished and all the lives that I've touched, all the people who I've helped, stuff like that, and just be like, you know what? My time on this earth was worth it, not just for me, but for everybody else who I've impacted, and then I can make sure that my kids, my grandkids, my great grandkids are set.
I agree with you on that.
So yeah, I mean, it's just the whole idea of reaching that end result. You'll feel like you actually deserve whatever it is that you've accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah. That simple feeling right there is just, I think that's well worth it, man.
I agree. I really do agree. It's kind of like when you in school, and everybody wants to finish school, but it's like when you finish and you get that degree, you think about all the times you went to class, all the times you done studied, you're thinking about all of that. That's what in the end makes
all the time you spent in the guidance counselor's office, all the times you were worried about how many more credits you had left before you graduated.
Thinking about all of those moments, everything that went on during school, like the good and bad times. You're thinking about all of that, and it makes you cry because you've made it to this point in graduation. That's what makes everything so much better.
Yeah.
So it really is the journey that's the reward. That's the true reward, man.
That is the reward. So with that being said, I just wanted to say, focus on the moment where you're preparing yourself to be who you need to be to handle that end result. One thing that we say a lot is that we talk, Mike and I talk about the cars that we want, especially the Ferraris, right? I know last week we discussed Young Dolph when he gave away that $350,000+ Lamborghini, that blue and orange one, and the people who we gave it away to, they ended up selling it because they couldn't handle the insurance. Even if we got to the point where we gave out a Ferrari, like, we want to make sure that we're able to handle such a thing. because we know the insurance on those cars is going to be stupid high. And even if we had to pay the monthly payment, which of course, if we were given one, I'm sure we wouldn't have to pay for it. But still, if we wanted to drive it, we know we would have to handle that insurance. And could the two of us who we are today physically handle insurance on a Lamborghini or Ferrari?
I have to choose between paying rent or paying insurance. that might be the choice.
And I know you and your wife don't want to sleep in the car.
Yo, that's funny.
So, yeah, man, like, we definitely want to make sure that we are the people who we need to be before we ever get a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And even at that point, when I have the money to be able to afford a Ferrari, I want to start off with the most affordable Ferrari possible, if that makes sense to those of y'all who are listening. But there is an entry level Ferrari called the Portofino. And that one I think starts around $200,000. And of course, we know Ferraris can go upwards of how much, Mike?
Oh, man, the one, look at this. Kevin Hart just bought one. He bought one of the only one that's in the United States right now. It's upwards around $600,000.
Oh, hell no!
Hybrid. Yep.
A hybrid Ferrari.
Hybrid Ferrari, the first one in the United States. He has the only one.
600,000.
600,000, and since he has it's rare right now, it can sell around from 1.3 to 1.8 million dollars. Oh yeah, it get up there. Yes.
So yeah, with that being said, I want to give y'all 5 ways to remain focused on your journey. Number 1, set a meaningful goal and write it down with a date that you want to achieve said goal. Number 2, push. If it were easy, then everyone would do it. Number 3, celebrate the small wins. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
That's true. I like that.
That right there is one of my favorite quotes from an amazing movie called Fast and the Furious.
Okay. One of the great movies.
Yep. The original, The Fast and the Furious. Dom said it after he beat Brian in a race. So, y'all know the movie. So you remember where that quote came from. Next one up, number 4, is manage your time effectively. Now with that, I definitely want to go into a little bit further. Time is your greatest asset. Now, we were just talking about things that you might want to accomplish between you being born on this earth and your expiration date when you leave this earth. So much goes into, the beginning of your life to the end of your life. But time is one thing that you can give away, but you'll never get it back once it's gone. Never.
That's true.
So because of that, you want to make sure that you manage your time effectively and wisely. Yeah. Don't just spend your time doing counterproductive things, especially while you're focusing on a certain goal.
And I just want to add one thing to that, because I learned to do something to manage my time well. Is actually when I was editing the podcast. This
man is editing podcasts.
I am, y'all. I'm still a little slow right now, but it's okay. But put a timer on stuff. If you put a timer, say, all right, I'm gonna do this for 15 minutes, or I'm gonna do this for 20 minutes. It's crazy how much you can get done within a certain time span if you put a timer on stuff. And as that timer go off, go do something else. And then kind of the same way you budget out your money, budget out your time. And you'll realize how much more productive you can get, or how much time you may waste doing other things if, when you schedule it out or put it into certain little increments, man. It's amazing.
Wow.
So, yes, put a timer on stuff, and you'll be amazed.
Message!
So, yeah, definitely number 5, write down a list of gratitude. What are you most grateful for that keeps you going while you're on this journey? And I want to give y'all a bonus.
Okay.
I know I said I was going to give you guys 5 ways to remain focused on your journey, but I'm going to give you a bonus.
What does that be?
Pour into other people along the way.
Yeah.
Whatever journey that you're on, I'll use my example. For example, weight loss. Whenever I'm in the gym, whenever I'm focusing on, my weight loss journey, I will constantly, have people kind of pour into me, but yo, that's amazing. Keep up the good work, blah, blah, blah. You're doing great. But I will also pour into other people, because I know that there's some people in a similar situation, or people who want to start to lose weight, but they don't know how. You know, so man, if I'm getting tips from my personal trainer, shout out to Misfit Blue, that is my personal trainer. If I'm getting tips from my personal trainer on how I can lose weight and get into better shape, then I might be able to give something to somebody else, just something to start with. Now, you know, if they want any more, I'll go ahead and refer them to my trainer, you know, so she can help them out as well, like she's helping me. However, I can give them a little something. I can pour into them. Same thing with this podcast. We just started this podcast 16 weeks ago, right? And we're not experts in the podcasting space.
No, not at all.
But no matter what, there are people who ask me about podcasting.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed that while like on this particular journey, there are people who ask me about podcasting tips.
Yep.
When did I become the expert on this? Like,
I'm telling you.
We're not even anywhere near like the level of recognition that we know we're going to be at.
Right.
But the simple fact of the matter is people know that we're on this journey and they come asking for tips. And it's like, yo, if I can pour some information out into you, I will.
Yeah.
You know, there's
That's
enough of this for all of us. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, nah, I'm keeping all the knowledge that I have for myself.
Yeah.
You know, let's make it. If you want to make it in the podcasting space, holla at me.
Real talk.
You know, we can discuss pricing later. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, definitely those are some ways that I wanted to kind of like bring to your attention of how you can remain focused while on your journey. And then, of course, with all of that being said, once you reach your end result, you will definitely feel way more accomplished than when you started.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the steps that you took to get from point A to point B. And then you realize it's like, yo, I came this far. I did this. I did that.
That's true.
Because I decided to do this, because I wrote this down, because I managed my time effectively and wisely, I was able to make it here. And it made me the person that I am today once I, you know, now that I've accomplished this goal.
Real talk.
That's definitely a mouthful, but I hope you guys made sure that you really listened to what I had to say, what we had to say, and you learn from it, because those are things that, you know, each one of us can benefit from, whether you're a novice at something or an expert at something.
Yeah, that's real talk. And that was it. I mean, I need, like, real talk. You said it. Like, literally, you said everything. That was it. And that just makes me think of this being where we are now with the podcast, bro. All in all, bro, it's like, yes, we have a goal in mind for why we're doing this and where we're trying to get to. But, bro, like, each episode is a part of this journey. Yeah. Like, each episode we learn, we're having fun, we're growing, we're actually doing something that we truly want to do, man. Right. You know, and it's amazing. And that just makes me appreciative of the journey and to be able to do this. Yeah, because when we get to like a year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, we're going to look back at every single episode and say, yo, we got here because of episode 1 through 16. Yep. Episode 20 through 25. Episode 50 to 100. Yep. We did those little steps. We did, you know, all of those right there. We celebrated the small wins along the journey. Yeah. So now that we are at episode 250, episode 400, we're just like, yo, now we're truly established in this business. We're truly established in this industry. So that, I don't know, I mean, at that point, y'all know my saying, I don't like saying the sky's the limit, outer space is my limit, but outer space truly is our limit. Even when we get to episode 400, 450, 500. That's real talk.
Man.
Like you said, celebrating the small wins, celebrating when we had 1 subscriber, when we had 5 subscribers, like being grateful for each subscriber, each view, all of that. Because it's going to come a point in time, bro, we're going to have so many views, so many subscribers, bro, it's going to be like, yo, dang, you remember when we just had this many? Like, I'm telling you, man. Yeah. I know that point for me, when I would really look back, bruh, is the moment where we get them Ferraris and we make that video. Right. That, to me, is going to be like, yo.
Started in the Mazdas, now we here.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm excited for that, because I know that is coming.
Yeah.
I know it's coming. I I can't wait.
Listen, I can't wait either, man.
Man.
I'm looking forward to that. But before we even get to that point, we got to focus on the journey.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Real talk.
Yeah.
Man, that was good, though.
That was great.
That was good.
Yes, sir.
Man, I hope y'all taking heed to this right here, man, because I think this is something that is going to really impact the world in a way that, who knows when, I don't know. I look at it like it's part of our legacy that, is going to continue to feed people mentally and physically. Well, I don't think it. Well, we might be
able to feed them physically because I listen to podcasts in the gym, so I know I'm not the only one.
Hey, who knows?
They can be motivated while working out.
Real talk. Hey, especially with that new what you showed me this week. A lot of people watch podcasts in the morning.
Oh yeah, in the mornings between 5 a.m. and 11 a.m. And a lot of people are at the gym between 5 a.m. and 11 a.m.
You know what I'm saying?
Before they go to work.
So hey, this is just. I hope y'all are taking heed to this, man, because I think we truly give this stuff out of our heart. Like we don't look to get anything in return. This is something that who we really are.
Yeah.
Giving to y'all, man. So
it's all about the growth.
Yeah.
Growth within ourselves and to be able to listen to our family, you guys. Mm-hmm. When y'all come up to us and you ask us for advice or you say that you're grateful for the episodes. Like somebody really DM'd us a few days ago and I showed you the DM. They were like, yo, I listened to y'all while I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? Like I listened to y'all on my shifts overnight.
Yep.
And it's like, yo, that's crazy.
I know, bro.
I was not expecting anything like that.
Look at that, man. Like we didn't even think to, I don't want to say it, it's gonna sound. We didn't even think about this person in this way to know that they were doing that for us. Like they were taking in stuff that we're just putting out this content for y'all and just hoping that y'all receive it. We don't really know if y'all are receiving this yet, but when y'all give us that feedback, it lets us know, like, wow, like, okay, this is working. We are doing something.
We're truly making an impact for real.
Yeah, because she wasn't even the only one. Somebody told me, remember? I think I told you. Somebody said when they're door dashing, they love long podcasts and they listen to us, and I'm like, dang, come on, man, that's dope.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have this at one point,
no,
bro.
We didn't.
We did not have this.
It's only gonna grow from here, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's only up from here. I got an iPad, yo.
The man got an iPad, a keyboard, an Apple Pencil.
Come on, man.
Hey, next up is a soundboard, brother.
Yes, sir.
Soundboard, XLR mics. We're gonna have an office space.
Yep.
We're gonna have guests.
And I want y'all to continue to listen to us speak this stuff because all of it's coming. Because I think at one point, I don't know if I necessarily talked about the iPad, but like we talked about just maybe like upgrading equipment and having more equipment, and this is a part of it, bro. Like this is growth.
Yeah.
And look, it's happening right before y'all eyes.
Now I'm not the only one that's gonna be editing the podcast.
Exactly.
Episodes, and it's crazy because I could take a week off.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
Take a week off because we got another editor in the building.
So man, I'm here. Yes, sir, man. Thank y'all though.
Yo, so Mike, what time of the show is it right now, brother?
It is the answers of the week.
Yes, sir. Time for that dessert.
Yes, sir. So, the previous question of the week was, what do you do in tough times to overcome them? All right, so from the first response that we got this week from Call Me Tony, he says that he prays. Like that one, man.
Yeah.
I most definitely can say I do the same thing, brother.
Most definitely.
Real talk. So from the Roll Up podcast, he said, stand optimistic and expressing gratitude, and you know I gotta smoke through it.
He didn't let me down this week.
He
ain't
let you down, man.
He didn't let me down this week. Shout out to the Roll Up.
Oh my gosh. All right, so from XX Jasmine, she said cry. So she cries to help her overcome.
Hey, when in doubt, let it out, right?
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Real talk. So from Will to Create Entertainment, he said, ask God to order my footsteps and always light the way.
Hey.
That's good.
That's what's up.
I like that. From Devin versus me, he said, pray, write a plan, and then execute it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I like that. What you got for us, B?
All right, from Jatani Rivers, Farm D. She said, pray, listen to music, and stay busy. We got a lot of praying people here, y'all.
Man, I'm telling you, prayer works.
Yes, sir.
It changes things.
From Ooh, Sweet Cheeks, we got take a nap. Now, Mike, I figured that would be your answer for the most part because, you know, we talked about this. But, you know, shout out to Sweet Cheeks. I went to middle school with her. And of course, that wasn't her name in middle school. Let me stop while I'm ahead because I'm getting too far ahead of myself. However, shout out to her, most definitely. But it's grind season. Grind season. We're not taking naps over here. But, hey, if that's what you do, that's what you do.
Still take a nap.
Bruh. From Dre Slays, he said, exercise and face them. So that's a good one. Again, going back to the episode where I talked about the journey, man, weight loss journey, my weight loss journey. Exercise is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
Whenever I got a lot of stuff on my mind, whenever I'm facing something, not only am I creative as far as my editing goes, but I like to get it in the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Listen to some Crime Mob, Milk If You Buck while I'm banging out the weights, you understand?
It works. It works.
It works. From Haas 63.3, he said, I stop, center my thoughts, and make a decision if it's something I can control. That's deep.
That is.
That's deep. And it's definitely a good one because so many of us,
that is.
we don't take the time to necessarily like focus on what's going on. We will just, you know, try to do what we can to cope with it. But yo, when you just stop and see, first of all, if it's something that's in your control, maybe you can handle that. But if it's not in your control, I remember last week you said you had an example of certain things that you may want to work on as far as perseverance. Like if you have if you have your hands out and you were talking about I forgot what exactly you said, but it was a lot that you couldn't handle. You would give it up to God. And then in exchange, God would give you something in return. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, peace.
Peace. Okay. Yeah. Bet. So you would give your problems up to God, and in exchange, He would give you peace.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I can definitely relate to, and I like that answer.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And last but not least, from Nizzy Naya, she said, I tried to focus on the positives instead of the negatives and read a Bible plan.
That's good. Most definitely focusing on the positive is sometimes it's easier said than done. But if you could do that, hey, remember, a negative thought and a positive thought cannot occupy the same space at the same time.
And where your thoughts go, your energy flows. So most definitely focus on the positive because that's exactly where your energy is going to go.
Yeah.
If you constantly focus on the negative, there's going to be plague in your mind. So.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the answers of the week from last week's question of the week. Did we ever give our answers? Well, actually, hold on. I think we did. We pretty much gave our answers throughout the whole episode. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. All right. If y'all don't know our answers, y'all better go back and watch episode 15. Listen to it. You can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, everywhere. So, go back and listen to it. So, for this week, we have a new question of the week, of course. And drum roll, please. What impact do you want to leave on the world?
That's a big question.
Right.
It's a tall order.
I mean, there's a lot that I want to do and a lot that I want my work to do, you know, so that it can impact other people. But I think I'll have more of a specific answer next week. I'll go ahead and save that for next week's episode.
Okay, me too then. I won't drop it on them. I don't even know right now.
Hey, it's understandable because I don't either. But
You want to leave?
Y'all know how to answer the question of the week. Hit us up on Instagram. Make sure you stay tuned to our IG story because that's where we always drop the question of the week. So, that was a great episode, Mike.
It was.
I think we got everything that we pretty much wanted to say this week.
And I can say, man, I would say specifically these last 2 episodes have been like really, truly impactful. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just been a lot of information, a lot of good, like, stuff that people can take with them and just, you know, have it in their back pocket to bring out anytime they want to, man.
Yeah.
I really felt like that, so.
Most definitely. And you know what? I feel the same way because I was honestly stuck in traffic on 85 going into Atlanta yesterday. There was a huge accident last night on 85 South past North Druid Hills exit. I was stuck in that traffic for an hour plus, man.
Yikes.
An hour plus on a Friday night.
Hope you had some snacks.
I didn't have any snacks, but I did have some food for thought.
Ooh.
I was listening to the Residual Impact podcast.
I like that. I like
didn't
that.
have snacks. I had food for thought. So, yeah. I mean, definitely listening to the episode, not to toot my own horn or not to toot our own horn, but the episode really, helped me get through what was going on. And I was actually in touch with, now I'm not saying that you should do this, but I was looking at, some Instagram accounts like ATL Scoop and ATL News Uncensored to kind of see if anybody was reporting on what was going on with this accident. Because pretty much it was like, we were like in a parking lot, essentially. We were not moving.
Dang, I hate that.
It wasn't going anywhere.
That's the ATL traffic fight.
Yeah, but this was ATL traffic on a different level. So we were not moving. So I was literally in park for a good amount of the time. We would slowly inch up every once in a while, but I could have sat my car in park for a while. Nobody would have bothered me.
Dang.
Because that's how we were not moving. But I found this one young lady's page who put up a story and shared it with ATL News Uncensored, and she showed the accident at the very front. And I think she said her friend was involved in it. Damn. So I wanted, I've been kind of keeping in touch with the young lady on Instagram. I know she DM'd me this morning, but I haven't been able to read the DM and respond to it because, I was prepping for the podcast. But I'm going to get back to her as quickly as possible. But I remember she told me last night that her friend who was involved in the accident, it was a hit and run. But she said that her friend who was involved in that accident had to be rushed to the hospital for surgery for something because I guess the accident was that bad. The picture that she showed, the video that she put up on her IG story, it was a mess. And it even got to the point to where traffic wasn't moving so much at all. Cops had to shut down 85 South.
Dang.
They had to shut it down and they were guiding everybody off the highway onto North Druid Hills Road. They were guiding everybody off at that exit. So that's when people finally started moving. But, for those of y'all who have gotten off at 85 South on North Druid Hills, y'all know that light at the exit is not a quick light. So yeah, that helped a lot of people up, but that's besides the point. I really hope and pray that young lady who had to be rushed to the hospital to get surgery is okay. I hope that she pulls through. I hope that everything works out. Yeah, and I hope that young lady who I was DMing yesterday, I hope that she's okay because apparently she was at the scene and everything like that. So, it was a mess, man. It was definitely a mess last night.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So
I'm sorry to hear you had to sit in traffic too.
Yeah, I ain't too worried about that. I'm just, worried about somebody else's safety in that instance, man. Because my main concern was what the heck is going on? I could not see for miles. There's nothing but red taillights ahead of me. Mm-hmm. That's all I saw. Everybody honking their horns. Literally, it got to a point to where even the HOV lane was stopped up. They weren't moving. There were, of course, motorcycles kind of weaving in and out, white lining like they always do. But and cars weren't going nowhere. And then we were stuck on the highway with 18-wheelers. They weren't going nowhere. So, yeah, it was a mess.
Man, be careful out there, y'all, when you're driving, especially if you live in Atlanta, yo.
Please.
Man.
Yeah, with that being said, like Mike said, be careful. And I kind of hate to leave the episode on a note like this, but it's just something for y'all to really think about because we really want everything that we talk to you guys about to leave a residual impact on you. And I'm not saying that just to plug the name, but we want things to resonate with you and we want things to stay in your mind as you continue to live your life and you just really think about these things.
Yeah, real talk.
So,
real talk.
Definitely, my prayers go out to the young ladies involved, anybody else involved in that accident.
Yeah.
And, we hope you guys are all staying safe, especially with this Omarion variant out here.
You stupid.
I had to.
No, that was good. That was good.
I kind of had to lighten up.
That brought the mood back up. That brought the mood back up. Please stay safe on this Siberian, y'all.
So that being said, we cannot leave without saying,
where you are today is a residual outcome of the thoughts you had in the past.
Yes, sir. We'll catch y'all next week for episode 17.
Oh, Mario, bro. Oh, my gosh. I love our people.
Peace.
Peace.